Obvious that Joe Biden is the president. I can't believe we're still talking about this respectfully.
But Trump is.
It's your party.
Trump's
Hold on,
still
it's not that keeps talking about
Hold
it.
on. I write extensively in this book that I am the closest person to Donald Trump to tell him the earliest that he came up short. It broke my heart. I wanted him to get reelected.
How do you still defend him? Do you still think he could be a good president after he tried to overturn our democracy?
Okay, so I left 3 months before you did for my children. I have 4 of them. And I said less drama, more mama, and that's exactly what I did. Listen, if you're saying that somehow you think we're supposed to think that you've seen the light and not just see your name in lights, that's not fair. What do you mean I'm still supporting
him?
Right.
You're not answering the question.
How
is this man qualified to be president if he incited?
He's not the president. Joe Biden
I know,
is.
but you're talking about maybe a second term. You've never denounced Donald Trump.
That's
when he incited a violent mob that attacked
the U.S.
I did that day.
Capitol. First of all, I didn't.
But then you went right back to him.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to move on because we're going to
answer the question very
do me a favor, because we don't have as much time as we did. So do this.
I did like working with her.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we have another Trump administration memoir coming out, folks, and you know what that means. Apologies, excuses, and lots of humble interviews on daytime talk shows. Kellyanne Conway, perhaps the single biggest defender of Donald Trump, is the latest to publish a tell-all in which she shirks any and all responsibility for the chaos of the Trump administration. The headline making its way across the internet is a big one. Yes, she says Trump lost the 2020 election. The fact that Kellyanne Conway admitting this is a bombshell shows just how far election truther Republicans have fallen in their delusion. Quote, rather than accepting responsibility for the loss, they played along and lent full-throated encouragement privately, not on TV, when Trump kept insisting he won, she writes. There are admittedly a lot of juicy details included in Conway's book, including discussions about her very public marriage, her daughter Claudia's TikTok, and the times she insists she stood up to the president. I certainly won't be reading the book, and I'm sure none of TYT's audience will either, so I guess we'll just have to take her at her word. Although I'm not sure why we should, when she quite literally made a name for herself by lying repeatedly for the former president. It's also crucial to keep in mind that unlike other former Trump administration individuals who are thirsty for media attention to get on CNN or Fox or start their own podcast, Conway very much still is in Trump's inner circle, and should he run again in 2024, as many believe he will, she remains at the top of his list for inclusion in his campaign. Politico reports she has been seen regularly at Mar-a-Lago and still has an extremely close relationship with Trump. Perhaps this attempt to clear up the election truther nonsense is simply the Trump team's first attempt to rebrand before he strikes up his campaign again. Perhaps Conway's admission and subsequent press tour is intentionally laying the groundwork for Trump to regain any supporters he lost with his election truther bit. Make no mistake, Conway is very much still the mouthpiece of Trumpism, and no 500-page tell-all should change the facts about that. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.